When Mr. Johnson Asiedu Ketia took to the witness box, he remained largely evasive. Every question that was posed, his immediate response is that I do not speak for the petitioner. This is someone who in paragraph 2 of his witness statement has stated clearly that he was in court to end or lend aid to the petition filed by petitioner. How can you come to court as a witness for a party, and when you are asked questions in court, your response is that I don't speak for the petitioner? Then why are you in that court? Why are you then in the court? He thinks he can be as elusive and evasive as he was in 2013. This time around, he will not be lucky. Now, it is very instructive to let all Ghanaians know that the one person who filed the petition, which is John Dramani Mahama, has refused, failed, or neglected to sign onto a witness statement. As we address you this afternoon, the petitioner himself has no witness statement before the court. This is a petitioner who seeks to have the elections annulled and is praying for a rerun. This same person is refusing to come and give evidence in court. The judgment is with the Ghanaian public, not mine. When Johnson Asiedu Ketia went all about town, he said one thing, which is poignant. When he was posed a question by lawyer for first respondent, his response was that we are in court to challenge the conduct and constitutional duty of first respondent. We are not in court to challenge the elections. I mean, that is Johnson Asiedu Ketia's own statement, not mine. We are in court to challenge the conduct and constitutional duty of first respondent, not the elections. So this is where we are.
And I'm sure when you watch the proceedings, you came up with the impression that the John Mahama team brought a solid case to the Supreme Court. In fact, when we filed the petition, it was being bandied about all over the place that our petition was empty, that it had not disclosed a reasonable course of action. Well, today was your answer. I am sure you saw vividly the evidence that was being led by the General Secretary. We have not yet concluded the hearing, and so I will not comment on the merits of what he said. But I'm sure you are all witnesses, and you know that this is not an empty case. Now, let me correct one misrepresentation, very deliberate and gross misrepresentation that lawyer Frank Davis, my very good friend, has made this afternoon. He sought to give the impression that we came to court because we wanted a relief to the effect that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama be declared the winner of the election. I am sure, as ladies and gentlemen of the press, you have read our petition. Nowhere have we sought that relief from the court. What we have sought from the court is very simple and may be summarized in two. First, we want the unconstitutional conduct of Jean Mensa to be held to account. Secondly, we want the court to declare that none of the candidates met the threshold requirements of Article 63, Clause 3 of the Constitution. That is the crux of our case. And that is the case that we have sought to make in court today with the witness statement of the General Secretary of our party. Now, it is far from being the case that John Dramani Mahama himself must testify in this matter. He has filed a petition. He is entitled as of right under the law to call witnesses in aid of his case, and that is what he has done. In 2013, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo never testified. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, if you have evidence that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo testified, please bring it to us. He did not testify. He called witnesses to testify on his behalf. So is it the case that when it comes to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the law must change and compel him to testify? I am surprised that a senior lawyer of Frank Davis' stature is confusing petitioner with witnesses that the petitioner calls.